Welcome to
WrestleMania.
taking place at the iconic MSG on March 14, 2004 in front of a capacity crowd of 20,000 people with 1.638 million people watching worldwide, which is 600,000 more than WrestleMania 19. A really fantastic number. Boys Choir of Harlem sing America the Beautiful to open up the show. It is beautiful, but a bit long for me. Then we get the opening video package with the history of WrestleMania, 20 years of history. Then we move on to tonight's card. It is quite epic and emotional. Fantastically done video package, and the set is damn awesome. The more intimate and smaller setting of MSG looks great. It's really an iconic arena. Match 1, United States Championship. Big Show defends against John Cena. Cena does a pre-match rap, a part is cut out for some reason. I give it a solid 7 out of 10. And the match has been built since the show injured Cena at the Royal Rumble, and even a bit before that, with them having a rap battle, which was very funny. A surprisingly fun match. Nothing too long, and it did what it needed to do. Big Show became the first person ever to kick out of the FU, so that was a big moment. And it was a first time thing, so it made it feel actually special because, you know, it's a protected finish, so kicking out of it feels like a big deal. It wasn't a classic match, but a great opening with a big feel. Great stuff. Rating a B-. Coachman walks the halls and enters Eric Bischoff's office. He is with Johnny Blaze, aka John Morrison. Eric wants Coachman to look for The Undertaker, and he hesitantly agrees. We then hear from Randall Keith Orton. Next, building up his feud with Mick Foley. It was a solid promo, but nothing amazing or memorable. Match 2, World Tag Team Championship. Booker T and RVD defend against La Resistance, the Dudley Boys, and Garrison Cade and Mark Jindrak. Booker T and RVD have a tag team theme song.
That's disgusting.
They are the new tag team champions as an obviously thrown together team just for WrestleMania. Early on we have an awesome double team move with Booker and RVD catapult into a super kick, so that looked really great. The RVD hot tag was fun after much of nothing until Devon pushed him off the top rope to the barricade. In the end, Booker and RVD win, pinning Rob Conway after a 5-star frog splash. Underwhelming filler match to get people on the card. Had a couple of decent moments though, and nothing was really bad. Rating a C-. Coachman is searching for The Undertaker, on the lookout for freakish noises. What he finds though is Gene Okerlund, Bobby Heenan, making out with Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah. Heenan is still funny, even in his condition at this time. He never lost his sense of humour. What a legend. Match 3, Chris Jericho vs Christian. Former friends are fighting. Jericho turned face as his feelings for Trish are real. He loves Trish, but he got friend-zoned. Christian is upset with him for paying attention to Trish, and then later he tries to get Trish before beating the shit out of her on Raw like a slime ball.
Let me ask you a question. Why are you such a dick?
A fun storyline overall. Christian is in great white and yellow tights. Tim White is the referee, making his return after a shoulder injury years previous. Sadly, he would re-injure himself at the end of this match, and thus this would be his final match refereeing. There is a great back and forth action throughout, with some good pacing and nice intensity throughout the bout. Eventually, Christian begins working Jericho's bad knee. On Jericho's comeback, Jericho falls off the top rope before getting back up and doing a lovely butterfly suplex. This was of course edited out of the final version of the show. Trish arrives looking smoking hot. She gets to see Christian dumping Jericho on his head with a brutal DDT. Christian throws Trish to the floor. Jericho is her savior, but she accidentally elbows him into a roll up for Christian to win. Great match, great story progression and character work, good all around. Post-match, Trish slaps Jericho, turning heel. Then up on the ramp, Christian becomes a lucky bastard and makes out with Trish on the ramp. Cue the Ziggler meme.
It should have been me.
Rating a strong B+. Mick Foley is interviewed by Lillian Garcia. His first match in 4 years is coming up. And The Rock is here, baby. He cuts a great and electrifying and entertaining promo as usual. Match 4. The Rock and Sock Connection, The Rock and Mick Foley versus Evolution, Batista, Randy Orton and Ric Flair. Foley's been feuding with Orton for a while now. They keep on beating him down, and finally he has someone who has his back. The Rock. Although this is The Rock's final match for 7 years. Batista does a huge jump on his entrance for some reason. I don't know why, but I found it quite funny. An all-out brawl to begin. The Rock imitates Flair's strut. Later on, Flair did his own people's elbow, which was hilarious. There is a cool moment early on as Rock hits a back body drop on Flair on the outside, and Foley follows up with a diving elbow drop from off the screen. We settle down and Foley plays face in peril and takes a beating, including taking a nasty ass bump into the stairs. My kneecaps hurt from just watching that. The hot tag to Rock felt a bit anticlimactic and off, but Rock is a house on fire. Rock hits the most electrifying move in the world, a modified people's elbow with a Flair strut for a close near fall. Rock bottom on Orton, but Flair breaks up the pin. Batista hits the Batista bomb on Rocky, and a delayed pinfall allows Rock to kick out. Foley gets the next hot tag and takes everyone out. Mr. Soccer comes out, but Orton hits an RKO on Foley to win it for Evolution. Great match with some iffy moments, but Foley took a good beating. Flair was fantastic, as was Rock, both extremely entertaining throughout. Big moment and win for Orton to keep the Foley feud going. Good stuff. Post-match, Foley is distraught, but the crowd chants his name and applauds him. Rock looks unhappy with Foley, but then applauds him and they hug. Rating, a B+. We take a look at the Hall of Fame inductees for 2004. Greg Valentine. Yeah! Don Morocco. Yeah! Big John Studd.
Huh?
Junkyard Dog. Superstar Billy Graham. Yeah! Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah! Tito Santana. Arriba! Harley Race. Yeah! Jesse Ventura. Yeah! Just keep him off commentary these days. Pete Rose.
Huh?
To be fair, that it's just celebrity wing, so it's fair enough because he was great when he showed up and got beaten up by Kane all the time. And the main event, Bobby Heenan, the Star. Yeah! Thoroughly deserved. I'm happy he got his moment here. What a legend. One of the best managers of all time. Greg Valentine got a much bigger pop than I thought he would. They really loved him in New York. Junkyard Dog's induction makes me very happy because he was very over with the young audiences, and as a kid I loved him on the video games. He was one of my favourites to play as. Match 5, Jackie Gator and Stacy Keibler versus Tori Wilson and Sable in a Playboy evening gown match.
Ooh, yes. Ooh.
This is happening as Sable and Tori were picked for Playboy, and Stacy and Jackie believe it should have been them. Personally, I advocate for all four. Oh yeah. I'm excited for this one for sure. Sable is in a beautiful black gown looking splendid. Tori is in a gorgeous golden gown looking glorious. Miss Jackie is absolutely ravishing in a white frilly gown. And Stacy is in a beautiful pink gown looking divine and delightful. Before the match, Sable gets on the mic. She feels restricted. So she and Tori have decided to wrestle with their gowns off. The crowd and I agree that this is a fantastic idea. Sable strips and looks absolutely stunning and cheeky in her black lingerie. I do love stockings and gartered panties. Black is my favourite colour. Stacy strips next, showing off her iconic arse in a pink frilly bra and panties set. She gives us a little shake. Pink is my favourite colour. Tori's next. She is an absolutely perfect in her set of white bra and panties, looking just ravishing. White is my favourite colour. Tori is cheeky too. Jackie refuses to strip, even annoying Stacy. She gets thrown in and stripped to her white bra and panties. She has the same panties as Tori, basically.
First thing you need to know is, I have an erection.
No one cares about the wrestling. This is all about the sexiness of seeing 4 hot divas wrestle in their underwear. I mean, a lot is on show in this match. Even watching them stand in the corner is great. Tori on the top rope bending down, the jiggle on each move is divine. Stacy does her in-ring entrance multiple times. Yes, yes, yes.
I am very aroused.
She chokes Tori with her long legs. Yes. Then we get Roll Up City, and it is the best. Very sexy. We get a cat fight, and that lucky son of a bitch referee gets steamrolled and is very happy. We end with a roll up with Tori pinning Jackie. Then to top it off, she spanks Jackie and pulls her panties down, showing Jackie's tiny thong. Even better.
How hot was that?
5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. One of the sexiest matches of all time. Taz and Cole's commentary is superb and hilarious, adding to the fun. Sable and Tori walk up the ramp and the cameraman doesn't want to look away. They look great walking away and give a peck on the lips to each other.
I like their butts.
How does it keep getting better? This was better times. This is going to get a very high rating as this was an amazing match to watch. I've seen reviews of WrestleMania 20 and this match always gets either like negatively reviewed or people are, oh, it's a waste of time and stuff like that. That's not their actual thoughts. I actually give my actual thoughts unfiltered, uncensored. Because you cannot watch this and not enjoy it. You just can't. But there'll be people like, oh, I don't want to be offensive. I want to be a white knight. I want to be your savior. I want to be a feminist. I want to show that I care about women empowerment. You don't give a shit. You don't care. Stop trying to take purity tests. No one cares if you're a good person or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. Being a good person, or quote unquote good person, they never really are, does not make you interesting. It does not make you real. It does not make you you. It just means that you're obsessed with how you are perceived. Anyway, run over. Rating S. aka 5 stars. We hear from the fans many awful accents, and I apologise that the British people who travel to America sound retarded.
What are you, retarded? So I know you're not retarded. But, what are you, Down syndrome?
Eddie walks backstage past a bunch of talent to their locker room to speak to Benoit. They have a heartfelt chat. 2 of the best ever to perform. Eddie says no one believes in Benoit. This fires up Benoit, who gets in his face angry. Benoit believes in Benoit, and it is his night. Eddie laughs. He's like, that is the fire he wanted to see in Benoit. That killer instinct, that match 6, Cruiserweight Championship. Chavo Guerrero defends against Ultimo Dragon, and Rey Mysterio, and Billy Kidman, and Tajiri, and Jamie Noble, and Ekio, which is Jimmy Wang Yang, and SmackDown number 1 announcer Funaki, and Shannon Moore, and Nunzio. Chavo's having to defend against the entire Cruiserweight roster, basically. 2 begin in the ring, and then it is a gauntlet match, basically, but they're all out there. Chavo will come in last at 10th. It is our first pay-per-view appearance for Ultimo Dragon. Can't wait to see his... Oh, it's his last as well. He slips in his entrance twice. Good start. We get to hear Billy Kidman's cool as fuck theme song briefly. And Ray is dressed as the Flash and gets his flying entrance, where he gets the toaster entrance, which is always pretty cool. Ultimo Dragon and Shannon Moore begin the match. Fast-paced action. Ultimo quickly wins. Noble is in next and Ultimo is all slippery. Noble does a neck broker and then chokes Ultimo out. Next in is Funaki.
Which went well.
I believe he did. Yes. Funaki into the ring. Noble rolls through to the ring. He's eliminated.
Nunzio now in his Italian colours. They have a nice little match. Noble does a front flip dive to the outside and they struggle to get back in. Nunzio takes one of the funniest bumps ever and is counted out. Kidman is in next and he does a springboard shooting star press to the outside. Holy shit. The Billy Kidman bomb from the top rope and Noble is out. Ray is in now and takes an insane backflip bump off a dropkick. This is very fun. He does some innovative offense. Akio interferes and a spinebuster nearly eliminates Ray. So Ray hits a top rope sunset flip to eliminate Kidman. Nowadays that would be a 1 count. Tajiri is now in, some cool stuff happens, and then he accidentally missed his friend Akio, and a roll up and Tajiri is out. Akio is also out due to the mist. Chavo tries to sneak a win after a Tajiri cheap shot, but alas, cannot. Ray does a senton dive onto Chavo's dad, Chavo Classic, but Chavo holds onto Ray with a holds onto Chavo Classic with a roll up to beat Ray. Lots of fun, fast-paced action, much different from the early matches, adding variety to the show. In the context of the show, it's better. Standalone is just quite a fun match, enjoyable with some great oversells and unique offense. Rating a strong C+. Match 7: Goldberg vs Brock Lesnar. The build has actually been quite fun, and I'm sure at the time this felt like a huge dream match. Stone Cold Steve Austin is a special guest referee, and he has taken an F5 and spear in the build-up, and also had an epic showdown with Brock on SmackDown. We get the epic Goldberg entrance, one of the best entrances of all time Goldberg has. Hands down, it is always so badass. The match is basically 20 minutes of the crowd shitting on both guys. More so Lesnar, as both guys were leaving after this match. And if the crowd were hot for this, it could have salvaged it a bit with the aura, but without it, it just doesn't work. I can see what they were trying, but it came off as lazy due to the situation in the beginning. They tried to do a bullfight style where neither guy could take each other down, then both went down, showing each other's strength. The crowd can't help but be impressed by Goldberg's military press slam to a spear. That was very epic. Goldberg missed a spear after though, and Lesnar works him over. Crowd chants Goldberg sucks after just cheering him 10 seconds ago. Make your minds up.
That's bullshit!
Lesnar slows it down with rest holds as he works over Goldberg's shoulder, which he sells well. As Spear gets a close 2, he argues with Austin and takes an F5. A delayed pin gets a 2. Lesnar hits the ring post, then runs into a brutal spear. So epic. Jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. Goldberg beats Brock Lesnar. Lesnar would return in 2012, Goldberg in 2016, and they would have a better match at WrestleMania, but in truth, this one wasn't bad. I went into rewatching this expecting an awful match and was pleasantly surprised. I actually quite enjoyed it. Yes, there was some slow moments that could have been shortened, but the press slam and the spears were good and it felt like a hoss fight. Without the angry fans, this would have been much better. They could have worked harder and had an even better match, but really, why should they have done it? I can't go above a C, but can't dip into a D grade either, so rating, a C. With an overly long post-match moment with Austin, Lesnar and Goldberg, Lesnar rightly flips off the crowd to they treated him like shit after all he gave him just because he at the time was retiring, basically. God forbid he not have other goals in his life. They deserved that. Then he gets a stunner. Goldberg drinks some beer and gets stunned as well. Vincent Kennedy McMahon comes out and he thanks the fans for everything in an out of character nice moment. He was himself here. Match 8, Tag Team Championship. Too Cool against the Basham Brothers versus the APA versus the World's Greatest Tag Team. There was a great segment in the build-up where World's Greatest Tag Team dressed up as the APA. Shelton as Bradshaw and Haas as Farouk. No, he did not do blackface, just an afro. No Shaniqua here, she was written off TV due to attitude problems. And Rikishi is near the end of his run here due to his weight problems. Scotty gives us a WrestleMania moonwalk, ode to the GOAT Michael Jackson. Silence for a while until Rikishi smashes Haas out of the ring with his arse. Then a stink face. Bradshaw does his last call to the outside. Insane. Then a brutal clothesline from hell. Wowza. Rikishi sits on Basham and wins. Afterwards, Scotty does his worm, and then we get some dancing. That's fun. Too Cool are great. It was a filler match like the other 4-way with some fun moments, though the silence was deafening at points. The ending minute was a lot of fun though, with some cool moments, and it saved it. Bradshaw's clothesline was legendary and brutal, so slightly better than the first 4-way. Rating, still a C-. Edge is back. A video package plays announcing this, finally. Jesse Ventura comes out for some reason. He wants to do an interview for old time's sake. He sees Donald J. Trump in the audience. It is New York after all. Jesse talks about running for president and wants Trump's approval. Well, it happened, if you just switch the two around. I think Jesse asked for this spot on the show just to mention that he's running for president. Match 9, Women's Championship. Victoria puts her title on the line against Molly Holly, who puts her hair on the line. Yes, if Molly loses, she goes bald. Austin suggested it after Molly got into a fight with Victoria and ripped her hair out. We see the barber chair and table with the barber, who is Vince's personal barber. The chair has straps on it, as it would. Molly looks great. Her hair is so silky smooth here. Surely she cannot lose. Victoria is the champ and with a great white attire. Her attire in this era have been amazing recently on Raw. A kid mocks Molly, telling her to get ready to get her head shaved. He says it multiple times. The match is decent but only 5 minutes long, so they didn't have much time to impress, and they did a long rest hold in a 5-minute match. They really could have done better. But the fundamentals were sound. This was more about the post-match than the actual match. Lawler and Ross are bored and talking about panties. Even the big moment with Molly doing a powerbomb off the ropes is kind of botched a little bit. Eventually Victoria wins with a backslide. Molly looks distraught as she realises her fate is sealed. She tries to run away, then she attacks Victoria on the ramp and she sits Victoria in the chair and grabs the clippers. She tries to shave Victoria's head to a big reaction, but the clippers aren't on, allowing Victoria to knock out Molly on the table. She then lifts out cold Molly into the chair and straps her waist in and her wrist too. Uh-oh, the clippers are on now, and she begins shaving Molly's long silky hair off. She is taunting and mocking Molly during it as huge clumps come off. Molly wakes up and Victoria shows her shorn hair as she wails. She then continues the shaving, giving Molly an awful uneven buzz cut as Molly cries and begs. We cut away for the Eddie vs Kurt Angle video package. When we come back, the guard has come off the clippers and Molly is being shaved all the way bald. Damn.
Holy moly!
Now that is a proper head shave stipulation. She continues being shaved bald during Kurt's entrance, which is funny considering his past. So the post-match was great, but the actual match itself was nothing special. So the actual match, I'm giving a rating of a D+. But the rest, it still doesn't hurt the show because the post-match was so brilliant. Match 10, WWE Championship, Eddie Guerrero vs Kurt Angle.
We are in business.
This has been great TV. Kurt finally turned heel after months of teasing and seeds being planted. He says Eddie doesn't represent WWE or America, as he is a drug addict. Hot kettle. Eddie got arrested and then handcuffed and beaten by Kurt, and Kurt has been a fantastic delusional heel. Eddie tries a dive but lands on the barricade after Kurt moved, thus hurting his ribs, which Kurt had been targeting. Smart, as if you hurt someone's ribs and then put them in an ankle lock, they will struggle to breathe when trying to get the energy to move to the ropes. Kurt continues his wrestling clinic with some great hope spots for Eddie thrown in. Eddie escapes an angle slam and hits a lovely head scissors, which brings up his confidence. Eddie goes for the frog splash, but Angle runs up the ropes and does his awesome throw from the top rope. Hella cool. The straps come down and Eddie is in trouble, but Eddie escapes and hits a lovely DDT and then hits the frog splash. But Angle kicks out in the last nanosecond. What a kick out. Angle picks Eddie's ankle for the ankle lock. Eddie is in agony, but counters by throwing Angle out of the ring, and he undoes his boot due to the pain. Angle comes back in and tries again, but the boot comes off. Genius from Eddie.
I'm a big genius.
This allows Eddie to roll up Angle to sneak the win. What an ending. An absolutely superb technically sound wrestling match. Watching two masters at work, both with tons of charisma, character and a great story, all adding to it. So much fun, great moments including Angle's last ditch kick out and Eddie's hope spots, and the ending was the icing on the cake. Perfect finish to a lovely match. Rating, an A+. Match 11, The Undertaker vs Kane. Undertaker was buried alive at Survivor Series, but in January began taunting Kane with vignettes, magical rain, caskets, lighting and stuff like that. He rises again tonight against his brother Kane. We get a fantastically done video package to hype this up. Kane buried Undertaker due to him losing his way for being the biker taker basically, and not the dead man. Well, he got his wish. The Undertaker returns as the dead man for the first time in years with an epic entrance of biblical proportions. Paul Bearer is back too. The druids, the fire, the smoke, chills. Kane's entrance was awesome as well, as the set is a city, and for Kane's entrance it was all on fire. Very good detail there. Kane refuses to believe the Undertaker is real. He looks really terrified. Undertaker is real though and starts like a house on fire. The soup bones are thrown, even the ref is scared. Scary moment was Kane nearly kills Undertaker on a back body drop. We do get to see Kane's awesome top rope clothesline in this match. Kane hits his chokeslam, but Undertaker sits up afterwards when Kane is celebrating prematurely. Undertaker hits his own chokeslam. Tombstone finishes it in a relatively quick fashion. This match is all about aura and the feeling. The entrances included. It was a glorified squash match basically, but a hell of a fun one at that. So great seeing the dead man back. And for the whole package, I'm going to give it a rating of a B-. Main event. World Heavyweight Championship. Triple H defends against Chris Benoit and Shawn Michaels. So Benoit won the Royal Rumble, but Shawn was still owed his rematch due to a draw at the Royal Rumble. So after much kerfuffle and an insanely good Triple H promo, this has been made a three-way match. It's been a fun build-up, and I remember this match being insanely good. And I remember a fair bit of it, but I haven't watched it in years. This match is pretty much perfection. From the selling to the drama, the pacing, the epic moments such as Shawn's moonsault from the top rope to the outside. It felt like a chaotic three-way match, everyone looking to win. The breaking of pins and submissions make it much better. The crowd was hot throughout and not chanting random shit to get themselves over, but just being into the match, and mainly Benoit. The selling from each guy was amazing, especially Triple H's desperation, and Shawn when he got busted open on a corner catapult. He sells so well when bloody, a master at work. The combination of all three guys worked, each combination was great. Drama happened throughout as Shawn Michaels kicks out of a diving headbutt with a delayed pin to protect it. Shawn Michaels hits a sweet chin music on Triple H, but Benoit pulls Triple H out of the ring to save the match. There was an awesome moment when Benoit had Shawn in the crossface about to tap out, and Triple H saved Shawn from tapping out at the last moment. A big turning point in the match happens when Shawn Michaels and Triple H double suplex Benoit through an announce table. Holy hell. Shawn and Hunter go to sell it one-on-one in the middle of the ring. The hype is real. Here we get the Triple H Harley Race bump from the corner. I always love that. Triple H gets busted open on the steps. Benoit is still out of it at this point, and Triple H does come back and hits the pedigree, but is too tired. 1, 2, Benoit is back. Benoit puts Triple H in the sharpshooter. Amazing selling by Triple H. He claws to the ropes, but is pulled back in. He is done for sure. But sweet chin music on Benoit. Holy hell, this is awesome. Slow cover. 1, 2, Benoit kicks out. Shawn Michaels tunes up the band one more time, and Benoit ducks and throws him out the ring. But Triple H is behind him. Pedigree. No. Reversed. Crippler crossface. Triple H, will he tap? He is fading. He taps. No. Still there. Rolled out of it. No, it's still on. He taps out. Benoit is the champion. What a finishing sequence.
I am absolutely lost for words.
5 stars, nothing more. Watch this match. Rating S. 5 stars. Beautiful ending as confetti rains down and Benoit and Eddie celebrate together, and then Benoit celebrates with his family, which has obviously been cut out of future broadcasts. I can't even find it anywhere. Just, that is the perfect ending to a fantastic show. This gets an overall rating of an A star, one of the best shows of all time and one of the best WrestleManias of all time. Absolutely classic show. It was a variety show. It had something for everyone. You know, the women are going to be like the dramatic romance storyline between Christian and Jericho and Trish. The horny men are going to enjoy the Playboy evening gown match. The technical wrestling fans got a lot of great wrestling as well. If you wanted fast-paced cruiserweight action with like flip-de-doos, you got that as well. You wanted a hoss fight, you got that as well. You basically got everything. You got big moments. blood, everything was on here. And the best being the match of the night, of course, the main event, Triple H, Benoit, Shawn Michaels, superb match. The worst match of the night was Victoria versus Molly Holly, but even that had its, the match wasn't great, but the post-match was fantastic. And to be honest, the moment of the night is Molly Holly getting her head shaved bald. It was an iconic moment. Sexy moment of the night goes to Jackie Gator's thong peak. I mean, the whole Playboy evening match could have got it, but that specific moment was the peak of it. MVPs, only one person per match. 2 bronze medals this time. The second being for Tori Wilson, because she was so beautiful. Christian gets the other one for a great match, and being a slime ball. Silver goes to Ric Flair, who was superbly entertaining in his 32 handicap match. And the gold medal goes to someone from the main event, and I'm going to give it to Triple H. I thought he was the star of that match. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. I know you won't, but I'll say it anyways.
Peace out, my brothers.